This is a case study in how modern entertainment news can move from an anonymous source claim to a named television series to a supposed reversal before the public has confirmation that a deal ever existed. The story concerns Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and a rumored role in Guy Ritchie's Netflix series, The Gentleman. The key point is simple. Reporting did not begin with a confirmed casting announcement. It began with an anonymous claim about an unspecified project. Welcome. This is Majesty's Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us. Here is the intro. The first report came from news.com.au, part of News Corp Australia. Its headline was, Meghan's huge new role revealed as she and Harry prep UK return. News.com.au described the report as a world exclusive. It said unnamed entertainment sources had told the outlet Meghan had been offered a role in an upcoming project based in the United Kingdom. But at this stage, there was no named production. There was no Guy Ritchie, there was no Netflix, and there was no mention of The Gentleman. What existed was an anonymous source assertion. Meghan had allegedly been offered an unspecified UK project. The next day, Deadline, owned by Penske Media Corporation, picked up the broad claim. Its story said Meghan could be preparing to resume her acting career after returning to the UK, but it relied on the earlier report of an undefined project. At this point, Deadline also did not name Guy Ritchie, Netflix, or The Gentleman. This is the first important stage in the news cycle. An initial, unverified claim is repeated by another publication. That repetition can make a story look more established, even if both accounts trace back to the same original, unnamed sourcing. Later that day, Deadline published the story that gave the rumor a far more specific and more dramatic shape. The headline, Meghan Markle eyed for role in The Gentleman on Netflix. This was the first report to link Meghan to Guy Ritchie's Netflix series The Gentleman and to a possible third season. But Deadline's own caveats matter. It reported preliminary conversations, not a completed deal. It said a third season had not been commissioned by Netflix. It said no specific role had been identified, and it characterized the talks as hypothetical. So the accurate version of the story was not, Meghan has joined The Gentleman. The accurate version was, Deadline says preliminary discussions may have taken place about a possible role in a possible future season of a show that had not yet been renewed. In just over 24 hours, the public narrative had shifted dramatically. First, an unnamed role in an unnamed UK project. Then, a possible return to acting. Then, Meghan was being linked specifically to Guy Ritchie, Netflix, and The Gentleman. This is how a rumor gains momentum. Each retelling can add framing, interpretation, and certainty in the public imagination, even when the original reporting still contains major qualifications. The following morning, a new and opposite claim appeared. Tina Brown wrote on X that she had heard Meghan's role in The Gentleman was off, saying that the alleged withdrawal was due to fierce public backlash. This appears to be the first public version of the claim that Meghan had lost or had been removed from the potential role. But once again, the sourcing was not public. There was no statement from Netflix, Guy Ritchie, the show's producers, or Meghan's representatives. Brown then published a longer item in her independently published Fresh Hell newsletter, distributed through Substack. She wrote that Meghan's supposed Season 3 casting had been withdrawn because UK backlash had made it untenable to proceed. That account became the central source for the next wave of reporting. Notice the structural issue. The story of a role being withdrawn depended on the premise that there had first been a role, a casting decision, or a firm offer. Yet Deadline's earlier report had described only preliminary hypothetical conversations about a season that Netflix had not commissioned. By that evening, the withdrawal claim had spread through major publications. The Chicago Tribune reported that Meghan's proposed Netflix opportunity had reportedly been withdrawn because of backlash based on Brown's claim. The Chicago Tribune is owned through the Alden Global Capital-controlled Tribune Publishing Group. The Mercury News, part of Media News Group and ultimately controlled by Alden Global Capital, published a similar account. The Guardian then reported that Meghan's casting had reportedly been withdrawn. Importantly, it attributed the assertion to Tina Brown and described Meghan as having been believed to have been under consideration, not as someone publicly confirmed to have been cast. The Guardian is owned by Guardian Media Group, whose sole shareholder is the Scott Trust. Forbes followed with the headline, "Meghan Markle no longer being considered for Netflix's The Gentleman," report says. The article cited Brown's Fresh Hell report while retaining an essential part of Deadline's original context. The alleged discussions had been at an early stage, and Netflix had not renewed The Gentleman for a third season. Then, The Hollywood Reporter, owned, like Deadline, by Penske Media Corporation, reported Meghan had been dropped from consideration, explicitly attributing the claim to Brown. It did not independently demonstrate that Meghan had signed on or held a defined role in the first place. The pattern. This is the sequence. An outlet reports an anonymous claim about an unspecified UK role. A major entertainment trade repeats the general assertion. That same trade provides a specific high-interest project, Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman. The trade includes caveats, no commission season 3, no named part, no announced casting, and only preliminary discussions. A separate commentator says the potential role is off. Multiple outlets report the alleged withdrawal, often attributing the story to that same commentator. The public is left with the much simpler but less precise headline, "Meghan was hired, then fired." The evidence available in the reporting supports a much narrower conclusion. News.com.au first alleged an unspecified UK acting opportunity. Deadline first linked Meghan to a hypothetical role in a possible third season of Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman. Tina Brown first publicly claimed that the possibility had been withdrawn, but no public statement from Netflix, Guy Ritchie, the producers, or Meghan's representatives confirmed that Meghan had been cast, offered a specific role, signed a contract, or later lost one. So, the most accurate description is not that Meghan got and lost a role in The Gentleman. It is that a reported preliminary possibility was later reported by a separate source to have been withdrawn. And throughout this entire cycle, Meghan herself said nothing. She did not announce a role. She did not confirm negotiations. She did not say she had been cast. She did not explain a withdrawal. Yet, within roughly 2 days, an entire tornado of commentary had formed around her name. Meghan is returning to acting. Meghan is joining Guy Ritchie. Meghan has been rejected. Meghan has lost a role because of backlash. Do you see how that happens? A claim from unnamed sources becomes a headline. A second outlet repeats it. Another outlet gives it more specific details. Then a competing claim reverses the story. Each new article, social media post, panel discussion, reaction video, and commentary piece builds on what came before. Soon, the public encounters a complete narrative, even though the person at its center has neither confirmed nor publicly participated in it. This is a useful example of a broader media pattern that Meghan has faced for years. A large share of the public conversation about her is not built on her own words, actions, or verified announcements. It is built on attribution, anonymous sourcing, speculation, repetition, and reaction to prior coverage. Before accepting a headline as part of Meghan's record, ask, who made the original claim? Is the source named and independently verifiable? Did Meghan, her representatives, Netflix, the producers, or Guy Ritchie confirm it? Is a later article providing new evidence or merely repeating an earlier report? Has speculation been transformed into certainty through repetition? And that's the way narratives are constructed. Well, I rest my case. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share, and do your happy dance.
In the dark, before the story found a spark, a whisper running through the wire, a name turned into wildfire. No statement, no sign page, still they built a public stage. One report, then 10 repeat, rumor marching down the street. Did it happen? Who can say? But the facts got swept away. How does a rumor become fact? One headline, then it can't turn back. They tell the story, frame the scene before she ever says a thing. How does a rumor become fact? They make the noise, then call it fact. A role imagined and withdrawn. A storm was here before the dawn. The cameras roll.